I thought I knew who I wanted to win Best Actress this year, and this movie just changed my mind. Oh my goodness, Pieces of a Woman, you guys, was a great movie and I thoroughly enjoyed it, but it was an emotional ride and I had to come record this review right after because I'm feeling it, you all. But what's going on, everybody? My name is Leo Rydell and welcome back to my channel, Geekly Goods. If you're new here, go ahead and consider hitting that subscribe button. If you like videos on the latest in movies, TV shows with a sprinkle of anime and gaming, everybody, I am here today to review Pieces of a Woman, starring Vanessa Kirby and Shia LaBeouf, and wow, what a phenomenal movie. I have to start with what works, Vanessa Kirby. She is a fantastic actress in this movie. Without even having to speak a word of dialogue, is able to express grief through her eyes and through her emotions and through the way she feels and emulates. And we get these long shots of her walking through streets and walking to work and walking into a mall, and you see the grief stricken in her. Unfortunately, she did lose a baby in childbirth. That is described in the trailer, so that is not a spoiler, but it's very unfortunate, and the birth was a home birth. She loses the baby, and Shia LaBeouf, of course, is her partner. He's the baby's father, and you just see the grief and emotion stricken in her and in him from this childbirth or failure thereof. It was just such an emotional ride, you all. I mean, seriously. Going back to Vanessa, I just thoroughly enjoyed her performance. This was fantastic. I'm almost speechless, to be honest with you. I loved the performance that much, and usually I'm a lot more jovial and energetic, but just seeing that grief, that depression, that hurt, and that feeling of pain and loss, man, it just has me in a place right now where I am just feeling for this woman. What a fantastic performance by Vanessa. Seriously, I'm thinking she is definitely in the race for an Oscar now. She seriously did a fantastic performance. This is her breakthrough, in my opinion. One of my favorite performances of her, honestly, my favorite performance of hers. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Shia LaBeouf and her played off of each other very well, and Shia LaBeouf was good as well. Shia LaBeouf is really good in a lot of roles he's been in. I mean, the last few roles I've seen him in, I've absolutely thoroughly enjoyed. Honey Boy, Peanut Butter Falcon. However, this was a different story, and he brings great energy and a different character to this story. Shia is really good at changing his characters through these movies, and he has really brought that energy back here. So I guess my next thing that works is Shia LaBeouf. He just does a fantastic job playing off of Vanessa Kirby, but it is depression, it is grief, and it is after such a tragic event, and you feel for them. You feel them, and you feel it through not only the way they talk in the script, which was fantastic, but you feel it through their looks, through their emotion. You feel it through the screen. That emotion transcends through the screen. Also, Ellen Burstyn as the mother, wow. Her and Vanessa Kirby have a scene in this movie that was just absolutely fantastic. Not as emotionally elevated, but sort of reminiscent, in my opinion, of Marriage Story. That emotion, that height, the way they had that gravity on screen together was just so emotional. It's a conversation between Martha and her mother, Martha being Vanessa Kirby, and it's talking about the child, and it's just such a emotional moment. I guess acting-wise, the acting in this movie is just absolutely fantastic. Next thing that absolutely works is the score. Howard Shore in that score, along with these fantastic tracking shots where we're following Vanessa Kirby's character and even Shia LaBeouf's character, we're following them walking, and at times not even saying a word, but you can see in their face the grief stricken in them. To be able to play a character like this takes a lot of emotion. She just does a fantastic job of playing this character who has suffered the biggest tragedy that they ever could suffer. So I have to applaud her for that fantastic performance. This was a great movie with great cinematography, a fantastic script as well. I highly recommend Pieces of a Woman. Now, the things that didn't work, there were a couple of things that didn't quite work for me, and I would say there were just some moments in the film where maybe I felt myself a little bored. I know that they were really trying to fill time with some of the shots, but I felt that some of the camera work where they would just kind of take these still shots or move on to other objects, I just wanted to follow them and get some dialogue. I think some of the scenes, while I liked a lot of the walking scenes, I think maybe some of them were a tad too long. But honestly, I can barely find too much wrong with this movie. There are a lot of things that go right, but maybe just a smidge long. Maybe just like 10, 15 minutes, a little too long. I liked the technique of editing and going back to this bridge and giving us time cards of where we're at. And I liked that editing technique, but sometimes there was some really jarring editing. So the things that don't quite work for me are the editing and a little bit of the pacing. I would say you could trim out a couple of minutes of this movie, but all in all, a fantastic movie. I am giving Pieces of a Woman an 8.5 out of 10. I thoroughly enjoyed this movie, but it is an emotional ride, you guys. Let me tell you right now, you know I'm usually energetic. This was an emotional ride, and I gotta say, I may not watch it again anytime soon just because it has really gotten me just upset, you guys. Get the tissues ready because this is one. You all let me know though down in the comments what you thought of Pieces of a Woman. Were you as emotionally invested as I was? What did you think of Vanessa Kirby's performance? Let me know down in the comments, and if you like this content, hit that subscribe button for your boy and come on back to Geekly Goods, and we'll see you next time.